Hello everyone, and thank you for taking the time today to learn more about SAP Advanced Workflow. Today we're going to begin with a solution overview and then talk about the capabilities and value that Advanced Workflow is bringing to our customers and how it can bring value to your business as well. We'll then conclude today's session with a brief product demonstration. So let's first start by talking about what SAP Advanced Workflow can do. Advanced Workflow is an easy-to-use solution that helps you automate any form of business process. Each individual workflow that you use to track each process is tracked through what we call a workflow case. These workflow cases are routed through various levels of review, approval, and assignment. Some of the common use cases we see being utilized within Advanced Workflow are payment approvals. For instance, in SAP commissions, when the payment file is generated, we don't want to release those to the field until we've applied the appropriate approval. Another common scenario we see is plan document approval, where compensation admins route their compensation plans back and forth to make sure that they're written in an optimal way and easy to understand. In addition to those use cases, we see advanced dispute resolution, resource assignment, change requests, and much, much more. Each workflow is configured through a number of statuses and actions set by you. These statuses and actions are set up using what we call the workflow transition matrix, which you see in front of you. We've taken a wizard-based approach to allow you to designate what actions are going to advance the case to the next status or revert that case back to a previous status. Each action and view within each status allows you to set things like notifications, assignment and approval rules, and we even give you the ability to enable groovy scripts to help automate certain tasks and pull in data from external data sources. There truly is no limit to the number of statuses and actions you can have within each workflow, so you can make these as complex or as simple as needed. Once your actions and statuses have been configured for your workflow, you can then fully customize each view using the built-in form designer like you see in front of you. Within the form designer, you can reference several pre-built standard fields, or you can create and extend as many additional custom fields as needed to be included on the form. We support multiple field types ranging from pick lists, autocomplete fields, checkbox, file upload, tables, and many more. Every object brought onto the form can be assigned visibility permissions, and they can also be set to be read-only or hidden, as well as required based off certain conditions. Each status for each given workflow can have multiple views based off the user's permission group settings. This allows everyone to collaborate and have a different experience when working on the same workflow case. Beyond these fields, we also allow you to bring in things like images if you want to do additional branding or bring in any company logos. We also allow you to bring in buttons, whether that's for submitting the form or executing a certain action or script. And we also allow you to bring in free text where you can do rich formatting using HTML, styling, and referencing tags to really modify and custify how that text looks on the form. Additionally, we even allow you to embed things like iframes directly on the form. A common use case we see with iframes is if we have any type of training element that needs to be extended through a workflow, we can actually embed our Litmus learning software directly within Workflow so that users can access their courses and complete their training directly within the solution. Every form that you build out can be saved as a template and then referenced across all of your workflows as needed, allowing you to easily recreate these templates without having to start from scratch. So now that we understand how to design our workflow forms, let's take a look at the finished product within the solution. The example in front of you is a dispute workflow. At the top, we can track the progress of the case and see what statuses are available to us. Within the dispute details section in front of you are all of the custom fields we brought in on our form designer, and we can easily track who that case is currently assigned to, how much SLA time is left, as well as the ability to view and download any associated attachments that have been uploaded to this case. In the Actions panel, we can see all of the available actions available to us in this particular status based off our user permissions. We can also track what status the case is currently in, and you can see that these action icons in front of you, those are pre-packaged, but you have the ability to customize and bring in new images to represent each of your actions. What you see on this screen is truly only a fraction of the available objects that you can extend onto this form. With Workflow, you are in full control of how configurable you want to make each of your business processes. Now that our workflow cases have been created and routed, it's important to understand the security controls available to us within each case. With just 2 clicks, we can pull up each case's audit history to see what actions and updates have been made throughout this case's lifecycle. Within each audit report, we can see the old and new value for each custom field that was updated, and we can also track all comments and attachments that were uploaded or deleted. Outside of these case logs you see in front of you, we also have another audit logs workspace for administrators, which goes much more in depth and tracks things like user logins, what workspaces they viewed, as well as if any scripts or settings were modified. Within any of your business processes, it is important that we set SLAs to ensure timely resolution. SLAs can be configured to track by the hour or day, and then you can set certain thresholds and notification settings to alert the appropriate party if a certain case requires attention or if any action due to it not being updated over a period of time. Setting these SLAs allows you to easily report on all of your open cases to see where they stand in regards to their SLA criteria based off each color code. Every workflow is going to have its own SLA rules and notification settings, and next we're going to talk about how those notification settings can be configured. Notifications can be enabled for just about any action within Workflow. They can be scheduled or on demand, meaning that they can be scheduled to run for SLAs or scheduled task, or they can be set up to be triggered based off any case update or any modification of a custom field. Advanced Workflow comes with extensive email template editor that allows you to bring in field tags, which represent all of your various fields. And then we also allow you to utilize CSS and HTML styling to add additional branding. When it comes to who receives these notifications, you can set up notification groups, you can set it for a certain individual, or you can set certain conditions that will determine who will be notified based off a certain threshold or specific custom field value or case status. We find that many of our existing customers leverage these scheduled notifications for things like reporting and in order to get a big picture overview as to where they stand regarding all open tasks. Now that we have an understanding of what SAP Advanced Workflow is and some of the value that it can bring to you and your business, let's now take time to do a brief product demonstration. I'm now logged in to Advanced Workflow, and this is the home page that is displayed for me. You can see I'm logged in as user Nina Sales Manager, where I can view my profile, view my current user settings, and when I'm logged in, this home page is going to display a couple of things to me. When I expand these lists, what these are is these are called smart lists, and they're saved queries based off certain case search criteria that you can save and then display this on the home page so that when each of your users logs in, they immediately are taken to their action portal to see what actions need their attention, what actions need to be resolved, and where do we stand overall in regards to all of our various processes with things like disputes, adjustments, and inquiries. As I log in, I just received an email notification letting me know that disputes approval A9 needs my attention. When I open up this dispute, I can see a number of things similar to like what we saw in our earlier presentation. I can see all of the details related to this dispute regarding that transaction, who this case is assigned to, my SLA time. I'm 9 days over, meaning I am in big trouble. I can also see attachments, and with one click, I can easily download them to open up for a further review, and I can see additional comments as needed here as well. Due to Nina being an admin, she has rights to all of these available actions you see in front of you. Whether she wants to add a comment, attach a file, or finalize the case and post this dispute adjustment details back into commissions, all of these can be done with just a few clicks. And Workflow has a seamless integration with commissions, which easily allows you to pull in transactional data, make adjustments, and then push those updates back into commissions using RESTful APIs. For this particular case, Nina notices that the subline on this is actually incorrect. She knows that instead of subline 100, it needs to be 98. So by being able to edit the case as an admin, I'm able to come in and make those adjustments. So now you can see that my subline has been updated. And to highlight that audit traceability, when I bring in our audit trail, you can see that it shows me exactly what field was changed from the old value to the new value. Now, because I'm an admin, I have the ability to configure this form as well. If for any reason I want to change the look out of this, with just a few clicks, I can immediately jump into the form designer. And this will not be available to any end users who do not have administrator capabilities. As mentioned, we do support various number of field types, from autocomplete to checkbox to large text, as well as secure text if we need to mask any fields such as social security numbers or bank account numbers. Within each of these fields, you can also apply regular expression validators to ensure that users are entering their data or data is being formatted to correctly meet those needs, whether you're talking about multi-currency, multilingual, or just specific currency formats. You can set up regular expression validators to ensure every field is within your control and styled appropriately. If for any reason I needed to bring in a new custom field, with just one click, I can create new custom field, and then I can select what field type I want it to be. For this, let's do a checkbox. I'm going to name it checkbox. You can customize values. So for here, I want my options to be yes and no. If I want any of these to be pre-selected to yes, I can set that up here as well. But once I update it, I'm ready to add it. And then you'll notice when I drag it onto the form, I've saved my form. I exit my setup, and then you'll see my checkbox field right there. The reason you don't see the yes or no is I did not have anything selected, and ideally the user would be selecting this from the case creation form. This is just a very brief demo overview of what these workflows can look like. We can go so much more in depth, and we can do things beyond just single approval. We can set up multi-level approval. We can set conditions where everyone has to approve before it can advance. And we can set multiple different thresholds through scripting as well, where cases can be automatically routed to a certain status based off a threshold of a certain custom field value. With Workflow, you've taken away all the headaches of using email, spreadsheets, and face-to-face contact as well as over the phone communications. And you've now have a streamlined action center where all of your business processes are defined, easy to use, and easy to manage. With SAP Advanced Workflow, you're ready to take that next step, and your workforce will be thankful with how much time and how much more efficient they'll be out there in the field. Thank you for this time, and I hope this was informative. My name is Clay Kilgore, and please reach out if you have any additional questions. Thank you.